Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn about the president. Detailed information about the president we will get in this video. Let's start the first thing. आर्टिकल 52 टू 78 ये सभी आर्टिकल जो है प्रेसिडेंट से रिलेटेड है, जो कि पार्ट 5 में देखने को मिलते हैं। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट हम लोग देखेंगे प्रेसिडेंट के बारे में। आर्टिकल 52 टू 78 में क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं। The Indian Constitution, the Union Executive consists of the President and the Vice President, Prime Minister, and the Council of the Minister and the Attorney General of the India. The President is the head of the Indian state. He is the citizen of the India and the symbol of the unity, integrity, and solidarity of the nation. Unity, integrity, and solidarity. These all the things of the nation belongs to the president. Let's start how the selection process of the president. The election of the president. The president is selected not directly by the people but by the member of the electoral colleagues. Consisted of the first one is the elected members. Okay, the elected members of both the houses of the parliament. Okay, number 2 are the elected members of the legislative assembly. Okay, legislative assembly. And the third one is elected member of the legislative assembly of the union territories of the Delhi and the Pondicherry. Okay, next thing is the nominated member of both the houses of the parliament, the nominated members of the legislative assembly, and the member of both state of the council case in bicameral legislation, and the nominated member of legislative assembly of the Delhi and Puducherry do not participate in the election of the president. Whereas the assembly is dissolved, the members cease to qualify to vote the president election, even if the fresh election to dissolve assembly are not held before the president election. The constitution provides there shall be uniformity in the scale of the representation of the different state, as well as the priority between the state and the whole union and the election of the president. To achieve this, members need to be vote. First is value of the MLA vote, that is equals to total population of the state divided by total number of elected members. Okay, total number of elected member into 1 by 1000. This is the first way of getting the vote value. The second method is total value of MP votes. Value of MP votes is equal to total value of the votes of all the MLAs of all the states divided by total number of elected members of parliament. Okay, this is the way of calculating the value vote of MPs. Let's see the next thing. Electoral vote, electoral quota is equal to total number of valid votes polled by 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 plus 1. This is the way of calculating the electoral quota. Next, Next, we are going to learn some members of the Constitutional Assembly criticize the system of indirect election of the president as the undemocratic and proposed the idea of the direct election. However, the constitution makers choose the indirect election due to the following reasons. What are the reasons to select the indirect election? The first reason is indirect election of the president is the harmony with the parliament system. PS parliamentary system of the government investigates the constitution. Under this system, the president is only the nominal executive. What nominal executive and the real power are vested in the council of the minister headed by the prime ministers. PM देखिए जो प्रेसिडेंट है वो आपके हेड रहते हैं बट उन सारा ज़्यादातर पावर किसके पास रहता है आपका प्रेसिडेंट के पास नहीं प्राइम मिनिस्टर के पास रहता है और उनके जो अंडर में मिनिस्टर्स है उनके अंदर रहता है ठीक है जो कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर के द्वारा हेड किया जाता है. It would have been analysis to have the president elected directly by the people and not give him any real power. Number two reason is the direct election of the president would have been very costly. समझ में आया अगर डायरेक्ट इलेक्शन किया जाएगा तो ये बहुत कॉस्टली होगा एंड द टाइम एंड एनर्जी कंज्यूम ड्यू टू द वास्ट साइज ऑफ द इलेक्टोरल. This is unwanted, keeping in view that he is only the symbolic head. It's not a real head. It only president is a symbolic head. Okay, this is the reason. The two main reasons are this. Okay, next we are going to learn about the qualification, oath, and conditions. Okay, to become a president. The first is a person to be eligible for the election as the president should be. The first thing is he need to be the citizen of India. Okay. Next is this is 35 years and he should qualify. The third is qualify for the election of the members of the Lok Sabha. Okay. And the fourth is he should not be hold any profitable union government or any state government or any local authority or any other public authority. A sitting president or the vice president of the union, the governor of any state and the minister of the union or the state is not deemed to hold any office of the public, hence qualifies the president conditions candidate. Further, the nomination of the candidates for the election to the office president must be subscribed by the at least 50 electors as a proposer and the 50 electors as a seconder. Every candidate has to make a security deposit of 15,000 in the Reserve Bank of India. The security deposit is liable to prohibit the prohibited in the case of candidate fails to secure the 1/6th of the vote polled. Before 1997, number of proposals at the seconder was the 10 each and the amount is the 2,500. Okay. Next is oath or association by the president. The first is to faithfully execute of the office. Second is to preserve, the protect and depend on the constitutional law, to develop himself to the service and well-being of the people of India. The oath of the office of the president is administered by the Chief Justice of India CGI. ये जो है CGI ही जो है कि आपका इनका ओथ सेरेमनी करवाते हैं और इनका अगर ये एब्सेंट है CGI जो चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया है तो उनके जगह पे सीनियर जज ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट विल बी अवेलेबल. Okay, any other person acting in the president and discharging the function of the president also undertakes the similar oath or affirmation. Next, condition for the president office. The condition laws down the following conditions are: he should not be the member of either the house of the parliament, whether it is the legislative, stateless legislature, If any such an elected person, he is deemed to have vacated his seats in the House on the date on which he enters the office of the President. Okay. The second thing is he should not be hold any office of the profit, and he is entitled with the payment of the rent, use of the official residency, that is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rashtrapati Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, he is entitled with such employment allowances and the privileges determined by the Parliament. His nominated and allowances cannot be diminished during his terms of the offices. Okay. Next is term and impeachment of the vacancies of the president. Now the next topic is terms, impeachment and the vacancies. The first is the terms of the president. Terms of the president office, TPO. The president hold the office for terms of the 5 years. How many years? The 5 years. From the date on which he enters upon his office, however, he can resign from the office at any time by the addressing the resignation letter to the vice president. अगर कभी भी president को resignation देना है तो वो किसको देंगे? Vice president को. Further, he can also be removed from the office before the completion of the term by the process of impeachment. What? The process of impeachment. The president can be hold office beyond his terms of the 5 years until his successor assume the charge. He is also eligible for the re-election to the office. He may be elected for any number of times. There is no limit of the election of the president. He can be president of any number of times. However, in USA, a person can be elected office of the president more than twice. Not elected president more than twice. Now we are going to learn the impeachment of the president. Okay. Now the president can be removed from the office by the process of the impeachment of the violation of the constitution. However, constitution does not define the meaning of the phrase violation of the constitution. The impeachment charges can be initiated by either the House or the Parliament, and these charges should be designed by the one-fourth member of the House, that is framed by the charges within the 14 days. Within the 14 days notice he has given to the president after the impeachment of the resolution passed by a majority of the two-third of the total members of the houses and sent to the house. This should be investigated and the president has the right to appear and to represented at the such investigation. If the other houses also sustain the charges, passes the impeachment resolutions by the majority of two-third of the total members, the president removed from the office from the date on which the resolution is so passed. Thus, the impeachment is quasi judicial. Is the quasi judicial. Okay, judicial procedure. Okay. In the context of two things should be noted. Nominated. The first one is the nominated member of either House of Parliament can participate in the impeachment of the president, though they do not participate in an election. The elected members of the Legislative Assembly of the state and the Union Territories of the Delhi and the Puducherry do not participate in the impeachment of the president, though they participate in the election. The things are different. Okay, no president has so far been impeached in India. The next thing we will going to learn is vacancies of the president. Vacancy of president. Okay. In this we will learn a vacancy in the president of office can occur any of their following ways. On the expiry of this tenure of the 5 years, number 2, by his resignation, number 3. Number 1 is on the expiry of his tenure, number 2 is by his resignation, number 3 is on his removal by the process of impeachment, and the number 4 is by his death, and the number 5 is otherwise. For example, when he becomes disqualified to hold office, or when his election is declared void. Okay. when the vacancy is going to be caused by the expiration of the terms of the sitting president, an election filed vacancy must be held before the expiry of the term. In case of any delay of the conduction of the new president of any reasons, according to the president or the hope is beyond the 5 years until his successor enters the charge. Okay, this is the provided by the constitution in order to prevent the interregnum. Okay, in this situation, the vice president does not get the opportunity to act as a president or to discharge the function of the president. If the office falls vacant of the resignation, the removal of the death, or otherwise, for the five should be held within the 6 months. Within the 6 months. Okay, and from the date of the occurrence of the such vacancy, the newly elected president office of full terms, जो नया प्रेसिडेंट आएगा उनका फिर से फुल टर्म शुरू हो जाएगा 5 साल के लिए. When the vacancy occurs for the president due to his resignation, removal of death or the otherwise, the vice president act as the president until a new president is elected. Further, when the sitting president is unable to discharge his function due to the absence, illness or any other cases, the vice president discharge his function until the president resume his office. अगर इलेक्शन भी नहीं हो रहा, प्रेसिडेंट भी नहीं है, तो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट क्या कर सकते हैं, प्रेसिडेंट का फंक्शन कर सकते हैं. इन केस ऑफ द वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑल्सो वैकेंट हो गया तो चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया जो है वो एक्ट एज अ वाइस प्रेसिडेंट. द सीनियर मोस्ट जज रहता है, उसके बाद भी नहीं रहेगा. सीजीआई भी नहीं है तो आपके सुप्रीम कोर्ट हेड जो रहेंगे जज वो करेंगे. एक्ट एज अ प्रेसिडेंट. ओके, when any person, vice president, chief justice of India, and the senior most judge of the Supreme Court, acting as the president or discharging the function of the president, he enjoy all the powers and the immunities of the president. Okay, president and privileges as per the determined by the parliament. Okay. In this video we have learned something about the president. Now the other things which is related to the president, like his president's power, we will read in the next video. Okay, and if you like the video, please like the video and subscribe the channel and share with your friends and comment also. Thank you, take care, meet in another video.